shit, you guys! You wanna know why? I'm driving your car with me! Execution! Maybe we can have the conversation!
Listening to woke rants is like being stuck in a never-ending loop of a social justice seminar. It's exhausting. Even talking about taxes would be more exciting.
I don't hate myself. If you don't mind?
No, I'll hold it.
Okay. I don't hate myself. But I think it's awfully convenient that you use other people's, shame and guilt and self-hatred and the demons and evil spirits.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
That's the reason why people commit suicide. That takes responsibility for your words and your actions cause someone else to hurt themselves. How convenient and how blessed you are to not take any responsibility with your actions.
I don't fully understand what you're saying.
I don't think the guy who said it even knows what he meant. He just wanted to virtue signal. A lot of these people just like the sound of their own voice and making themselves feel proud, thinking they're on the right side of history, even though they couldn't be more deluded.
You touch me. This is the only tactic they have. This is the group that's saying that we're Christian. Please don't touch me.
Get the f back. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Please do not touch me.
Stop it. Get some help.
The way she's barking and growling, I'd bet she's a furry. A lot of these woke leftists are typically the greatest of sexual deviants. This girl definitely didn't have a father present in her life. Don't raise your daughters like this, folks.
Allow somebody like Anthony Joshua to box in women's boxing in a year's time if he had the treatment.
If he was in a woman's size weight category, yes, I would.
You would let Floyd Mayweather, who is pound for pound the most successful boxer in male history, in a year's time compete at the same weight against women.
Yeah, if there's a weight category.
This is nonsense. I'm sorry. How could you possibly countenance putting Floyd Mayweather, the most dangerous boxer pound for pound, arguably in the history of boxing, into a ring with women born to female bodies? This is where the argument becomes utterly ridiculous. It's not transphobic to say so. Common sense.
I don't think these people actually believe what they're saying. I think they've doubled down on a political agenda and can't back down because they've made a career out of it. When they go home, they must realize everything they say is delusional because they have to cope and pretend what they're saying is valid. Imagine having a fighter like Floyd Mayweather go up against a woman. That would be a complete injustice and totally unfair. There's a reason why we have male and female sports categories. Imagine Floyd Mayweather going up against a woman in the ring. That's not a boxing match. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
You heard about my ex-boyfriend, right? 50 Cent and his support of Donald Trump.
Yeah, what's going on between you? I saw your tweets and I go, wait, what's happening? Because you said he was your favorite ex-boyfriend and then what does he do? He's supporting Trump?
He says he doesn't want to pay 62% of taxes, which, by the way, isn't a plan of Joe Biden's. That's a lie. So he doesn't want to pay 62% of taxes because he doesn't want to go from being 50 cent to 20 cent. And I had to remind him that he was a black person.
What did that just mean?
So he can't vote for Donald Trump and that he shouldn't be influencing an entire swath of people who may listen to him because he's worried about his own personal pocketbook. So I haven't heard back from him yet, but I am willing to, seal the deal in more ways than one if he changes his mind and publicly denounces Donald Trump. I might be willing to go for another spin, if you know what I'm talking about.
I love this subtle leftist racism. She's essentially saying he's too dumb to make his own decisions and cannot be voting for Trump based on his race alone. These statements these people make are ridiculous, and insinuating sexual favors for changing his politics and influencing his followers, classy move. Politics is just a game to these people.
What gives you the credential to talk about this as a cis straight male?
Hold on, you can't assume my gender.
But am I wrong?
Yeah, you're wrong.
Okay, but you're still a cis male.
How do you know that, though?
Got him!
Because I look like one, right?
No, because...
Then why?
Because trans people are not going to fight against trans.
I know, and this isn't against trans people.
No, it is.
This?
Yeah.
It's okay. It's against letting kids who can't actually consent to something so extreme make these life-changing decisions.
This guy beat them at their own game. It's important to understand what these leftists are actually saying so you can use their own language against them and combat them easier. If you identify as what they perceive as oppressed groups, they won't fight you anymore because they only attack you based off their emotions. If you're technically more vulnerable than they are, they just give up and shut down. It's like watching a dog chase its own tail. Entertaining, but ultimately pointless.
A lot of people were asking in the comments of my last couple of videos about my anchor chart. So here you can see a couple of other anchor charts that I have about my pronouns. It says, my name is Mix Cogdill. My pronouns are Z, Zem, Zir, and Zirs. Mix C is my teacher. Z is multilingual. Students practice and speak Spanish with Zem. Zir hobby is learning languages.
Imagine needing a whole textbook to explain your pronouns and how to be spoken to. These are some of the most coddled people you'll ever interact with. Would you want your kids being taught by her or going to that school? It's like getting a degree in overcomplication. Let me know in the comments.
Did you know that queer and trans people actually experience time completely differently to cishet people? It's a concept called queer temporality, and it basically has to do with the fact that historically, as queer and trans people, our lives have started much later, and for a whole bunch of reasons, ended earlier than our cishet counterparts.
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit.
So as a result, our experience of time is compressed. It also has to do with the fact that those milestones that we've been socialized to use to mark the passage of time, so things like marriage or having children or, working, retiring, inheritance, things like that, haven't been accessible to us. And that linear timeline has a name, heterochronology. And as queer and trans people, our experience of time often sits outside that.
I'm speechless, so I don't know what to say.
I feel like after those COVID lockdowns, people had way too much spare time to make up their own little lore, universes, and fan fiction in their heads. I know what time it is, and it's about time this girl wakes up from her delusions. The mental gymnastics this chick is going through to justify this ridiculous idea is mind-blowing.
I open this book on YouTube, the stream will get taken down.
Okay.
Did you ever read this book? This book is in middle schools in Florida. Ron DeSantis had it removed. That's one simple policy he did. That's very good. You've never seen this book?
I've heard about it.
Have you ever looked inside of it?
No, but I mean, I don't believe in censorship.
If I show you a picture of a job, would you be offended?
I mean...
Can I show you a picture of a job on camera?
I wouldn't be offended.
I'm looking at this right now. I can't even hold it up because I can't point it at the camera. And I don't understand why school children should be taught how to perform jobs for an autoandrophile.
I don't believe they're being taught that.
You asked me what Ron DeSantis did that I liked.
That he banned genderqueer?
That he's removing pornographic and kink books from middle schools is a very, very good one. And I would.
Well, for me, my politics are a little broader than that, Tim, I gotta say.
So if your argument to me is that I or anyone else should support your politics because you want to show jobs to children, you're going to lose.
Well, I don't think that is a policy done by teachers in this country. I think that this
book was in schools in Florida, which is why...
There are a ton of books that are in a ton of schools. I don't believe in censorship. That's not my bag, buddy.
So you think children should have Playboy?
I don't really think so, no.
It's an evil world we live in.
It's crazy how out of touch a lot of these people advocating for these policies, politicians, and ideologies are. The same people pushing this agenda on you are trying to get these books in front of your kids because they think they're enlightening and educating them. This is indefensible. The fact that there's a large portion of the population turning a blind eye to it just to accomplish political motives is baffling to me. The West needs a wake-up call soon, or we're gonna collapse within our lifetime. It's like we're living in an episode of Idiocracy.
Hey guys! One of the things I am most appreciative of is the amount of freedom I have now through makeup and clothes to just express myself. When I was a man, there really wasn't that much that I could do. And I feel like now with the makeup and the outfits, there's just so many more ways I can express myself and the makeup I can do. And I just really enjoy it. So if you have any makeup or fashion and style tips, please send them my way. And I'll do the same for you. Bye guys.
Stop it. Get some help.
Nothing better than a dude wearing makeup, mascara, and painted red nails. The West has hit the pinnacle of culture and enlightenment, hasn't it? What do you guys think?
Charlie Kirk believes that TikTok is turning children trans.
This is Chloe Cole. She's a detransitioner.
In my experience, I learned about transgenderism through the internet at roughly about the age of 11 or 12. And I mean, it captivated me. I had body image issues, and it felt like I found the explanation for as to why I felt so different from the women around me. This has left permanent effects on my body. I might not be able to have children. I don't have my breasts anymore. I have complications from the blockers, the testosterone, and the surgery.
That's
3
correct.
years after I've stopped taking all of them.
I'm very suspicious about, okay, but I understand.
Calling her a liar?
No, but I am saying that I'm pretty sure a mastectomy, that's not in the trans guidelines of how people should transition.
Oh, it is.
No, it's 100% is. Look at
It's in the WPATH guidelines.
WPATH guidelines that came out last
They've been lowering the age guidelines for years.
It's hilarious how that guy immediately started gaslighting her, ignoring someone with actual lived experience. These people preach about accepting and listening to everyone, but the second it goes against their opinions, they immediately shut down and gaslight those who think differently. The way he was at a loss for words near the end was priceless. Hopefully it was a wake-up call for him.
So you would agree that telling a boy that he's a girl is a lie?
No, but if that boy says that they're a girl, then I'm going to believe that child. The way that you and I see gender perception is totally different, because I understand
Gender's not real.
Absolutely, gender's not fucking real, dude. So if somebody says that they believe that they
Sex is real, though.
What?
Sex is real.
Sex is also a subjective perspective on how you want it.
So you don't believe in biology either?
I do believe in biology. I understand X and X. I understand. I've taken biology classes. I
So you should
understand how
know.
it works. When you look at different species of this planet, right? They come in all sorts of different sexual forms, right? Whether it's they're able to reproduce themselves, whether they...
That's not possible.
Yes,
Where?
it is.
Where?
Frogs do that. They can change sex.
Okay, I'm talking about humans.
Okay, well, when it comes to humans, sex is still a weird thing, because you can have people with XX, right, as opposed to XY, and still be perceived as masculine, right?
Well, I'm out, guys. If this is what's cool now, I think I'm done. I no longer have any connection to this world. I'm gonna go home and kill myself. Goodbye, friends.
They're turning the frickin' frogs gay. It's hilarious how the second he starts asking about human sexes, the other guy immediately starts talking about other species entirely. Sorry to break it to you, but there's only 2 sexes. Everything else is a rare mutation in humans. These people love talking in hyper extremes and niches instead of focusing on what's actually normal for humans. It's like they live in a mystical fairyland where reality just doesn't apply.
Can you define what it means to be a woman? Can you define woman?
A woman is what to define to be a woman. These are great questions, actually.
Would you define yourself as a woman?
I would.
Okay. So what about you makes
My physical anatomy.
Okay. So your physical anatomy makes you a woman?
Yes.
It's unfortunate that such a simple question like what is a woman has become so difficult for the average person to answer due to social pressures and political agendas. What do you guys think? I'll push the question towards you. What is a woman? I'd like to hear from you guys on this. If you have any thoughts or good stories, let's continue the conversation in the comments.